Hello, welcome back to the McKinney Christian Academy American History Museum. My name is Ava, and today we will be exploring some of the 18th century Revolutionary War artifacts. Let's get started. Under the leadership of the charismatic brigadier General Benedict Arnold, Philadelphia and her sister ships were organized into what historians would consider the first American Navy. Philadelphia was around 54 feet and 29 tons, and the Continental Congress authorized the creation of this and 8 other similar vessels for the defense of the Catherine Valley. The northern frontier of colonies considered this to be either the key of success for the American Revolution or its failure. During the summer and the beginning of the fall, this small fleet delayed the British invasion's plan to divide the colonies. On October 11, 1776, the Americans met the enemy in a hard-fought battle. Unfortunately, the British defeated the American forces. An hour after the end of this battle, the Philadelphia sank to the bottom of the lake. By the end of this battle, on October 13th, the British had gained control over Lake Champlain, and most of the American fleet had been destroyed. Though they were defeated, and the naval conquest for Lake Champlain is considered to be the foundation of the defeat for the British. The battle delayed the British campaign and led to further advances, thus giving the American army time to build the strength necessary for the victory at Saratoga. The Philadelphia rested on the bottom of the lake until it was discovered and recovered with much of its equipment intact in 1935 by Lorenzo F. Hougaland, a civil engineer who for many years exhibited it as a tourist attraction. It came to the museum in 1964, complete with a 27-pound ball that sent the gunboat to the bottom. In the National Museum of American History, the gunboat Philadelphia expedition has been reinterpreted and updated to include its recovery in 1935. A history of its display at Lake Champlain, as well as early preservation and acquisition by the museum. This exhibition includes historical footage of the raising of the Philadelphia from Lake Champlain, accompanied by an interpretive cart that provides hands-on experience that preserves needs. Painted scrims provide the visitor with simulated visual sense of the underwater space of Philadelphia. New cases will display artifacts that were recovered from the gunboats as well as crew payroll. The Philadelphia is one of the 15 small crafts in which Benedict Arnold fought 29 British vessels on the Battle of Valcour Island in Lake Champlain on October 11, 1776. The Battle of Valcour was important to the American Revolution because while it resulted in a tactical victory for the British, in the long run the battle proved to be a strategic victory for the American quest for independence. During the Battle of Valcour, 80 men died and 120 were captured. As tragic as this is, Arnold did, in the end, accomplish the objective of disrupting the British invasion from Canada. By causing the British to postpone their plans until the spring, Arnold had brought the rebels time to gather their strength and resources that would be utilized during the Battle of Saratoga, which many historians would consider the turning point of the War for Independence. The significance of what Arnold accomplished at Valcour Island cannot be denied. 100 years later, the great naval theorist Alfred Mahan observed that the little American Navy was wiped out, but never had any force, big or small, lived to better purpose. The leading to the Battle of Saratoga was very important due to the fact that Saratoga is considered to be the major turning point of the Revolutionary War. The American defeat of the superior British Army led to the increase of patriotism, further hope for independence, and helped to secure the foreign support needed to win the war. The Revolutionary War ended in an American victory. One of the most decisive American battles of the Revolutionary War, Saratoga, ended British General John Burgoyne's attempt to control the Hudson River Valley. The outcome convinced the court that King Louis XVI that the Americans could hold their own against the British Army, sealing the alliance between America and France. American General Benedict Arnold, who was responsible for leading the Philadelphia at Lake Champlain, was hailed as a hero for his bravery on the battlefield, a reputation lost with his later betrayal and defection to the Royalists. In 1777, British strategy called for a three-pronged attack on New York, with 3 separate armies covering near Albany, for British General John Burgoyne moving south for Canada with 7,500 men. The Hudson River Valley became the critical route for the investigation. By August, Burgoyne had captured Fort Ticonderoga, defeated fleeing American troops at Hubbardton, Vermont, and occupied Fort Edwards on the edge of the Hudson River. After a contingent for Burgoyne's troops were defeated in the Battle of Bennington, his reduced forces marched south towards Saratoga in early September. General Horatio Gates and his American soldiers had built formidable defenses on Bremen Heights, just south of Saratoga, overlooking the Hudson, with two armies engaged in combat at Freeman's Farm on September 19th. While the British held off the Americans, their losses were great. Burgoyne's battled forces dug trenches and waited for the reinforcements, but none came. Burgoyne launched a second unsuccessful attack on the Americans at Bemis Heights on October 7th. With no means of escape, Burgoyne eventually surrendered to Gates on October 17th. The victory persuaded France to sign a treaty with the United States against Britain. France's financial and military support contributed to Washington's victory at Yorktown in 1781, which effectively ended the Americans' war for independence. Without the contribution of the battle at Lake Champlain and the gunboat Philadelphia, none of this would have been possible. Today, the Philadelphia is the only American naval vessel from the Revolutionary War that's on public view, so if you would like to go see it, you can go right ahead. That's all I have today on the McKinney Christian American History channel, so I hope you had fun and enjoyed. Bye, see you next time.